All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Strange Illusion, 1945. Cool looking movie poster. I love this flick. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. This is going to be a PRC Edgar G. Ulmer film noir. Strange Illusion is a 1945 film noir loosely inspired by Hamlet. It was envisioned as a modern crime film. It was directed by Edgar G. Ulmer, the great Edgar G. Ulmer, and starred Jimmy Linden, Warren William, and Sally Eilers. I don't know any of these names, sorry. I'm not familiar. I did see John Hamilton from The Adventures of Superman. Don't call me Chief! According to noir historian Spencer Selby, the film is a stylish cheapie by the recognized master of stylish cheapies. Amen to that, brother. I'm all on board. A college student has a recurrent dream that leads him to suspect there is something sinister about his widowed mother's suitor. What I don't get is how he's able to dream exactly the the scene of his father's murder, and the ending didn't make sense, but it was still pretty effective, I think. A college student has a recurrent dream that leads him to suspect there is something sinister about his widowed mother's suitor. Where the dream comes from or why he's able to telegraph or how the scene of the murder crime managed to infiltrate his brain while he was dreaming is quite an amazing feat. No wonder it had Superman's boss in there. Anyways, production company PRC Pictures Inc., distributed by PRC Incorporated. This is a Poverty Row film. Release date March 31st, 1945 in the US. Running time 87 minutes. Country United States. And language English. This is a public domain film. I saw it on called Cinema Classics, the great public domain channel. It's sort of like the alpha video of YouTube, I guess. Anyways, film critic Dennis Schwartz liked the film's atmospherics, but gave a mixed review to the production as a whole, saying the dark psychological thriller had an engrossing premise courtesy of Mr. Shakespeare, and it was influenced further by Freudian dream analysis, but it was unconvincing as a melodrama. The script was weak, the plot was full of holes, and the acting was as lame as it gets. We like bad acting on this channel. What's interesting is that the film is shot as an intense dream sequence in shadowy black and white hues, and its sense of delirium powerfully filters through the story, almost wiping away the unconvincing, heavy-handed performances of the villains and the mummified acting by the leads. We like the dumb blondes in this movie. And speaking of which, there's a blonde with the shaved sides of her hair. I don't know if that's a lesbian hairdo where she's got it's not quite a mohawk, but it's shaved on the sides. And then there's kind of a mop top. She's kind of a obscure movie reviewer like myself, but she's got about 100 something views on her video, and I think I'm going to post the link to her review in the description, just because she's very good looking and she's interested in this kind of movie. I don't know what to say. I'm smitten. I think I'm in love with my with my catfish dream girl on YouTube. Anyways, um, this is a film where Ulmer's unique style and his film noir moody interjections work better than the derivative mystery story. Critic Matthew Sorrento of Film Threat also lauded the film, though saddled with the script's fetish for Freud. Ulmer stylizes his thriller without sending it adrift like his other great films. Strange Illusion is a shaggy quickie that takes the fine shape throughout. We like shaggy quickies on this channel. All right. Nobody in the chat room today. I was going to review this last night, but I just got lazy. I went to 3 different Safeways looking for smaller versions of the Hawaiian punch that I can actually fit in this tiny fridge here at the Roach Motel, the Fleabag Hotel. I think I got rid of the cockroaches. Now I'm trying to get rid of the gnats of this Raid Essentials. So I got this oily stuff all over the paint, and I think I chipped the paint with my lab folding backwards. But hopefully they'll give me my money back in a couple years. I managed to sell a couple of contracts, call contracts on my Fidelity account yesterday. I was kind of surprised. I'm in a bit of a cash crunch with these upcoming hotel bills for the holidays and my confirmation. And I just wish I had some more money so that I can buy Microsoft call contracts on the dip. But as it stands, I'm playing with about $4,000 cash. If my sell of Johnson and Johnson call contract goes through on Monday, which I'm expecting it will. So I'm about 2,500 short of buying another Microsoft call contract. I'm actually trying to dollar cost average my call contract, which is I'm kind of entering no man's land here of investing. I've never been in this kind of situation where I had this much money to play with, but I don't know. It's been sort of a mixed bag. I'm stuck with 2 contracts that are way underwater, and I'm looking to buy a 3rd one on the dip to sort of make up for the other 2. I don't know. I might not be able to do it for a couple months, but we'll see how well I can invest my 4,000 cash next week. Hopefully I can get like I don't know. I want to say $2,000 next week. I'll probably only get 1,500, but 2,000 would be nice. We'll see how it goes. Strange Illusion gets a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 1,300 ratings, 1945, 1 hour, 27 minutes, good run time. Uh, After Paul has bizarre dreams about a faceless, sinister man, he suspects the man who is courting his mother has ulterior motives. All right. Here's a review from Black Well Tunes on IMDb. No rating. It just says traditional old mystery with modern undercurrents. I enjoyed this movie despite its weaknesses, which at times it feels like a B movie technically. We like B movies on this channel. For example, at one point, the main character is watching from the sanitarium window, a car exiting the driveway, but his head is not following the movement of the car properly, which means it was a matte shot and it looks odd. Also, the mother sometimes looks the same or younger than her daughter. That just adds to the charm, doesn't it? Or my interest, we like low budget Edward G. Ulmer films on the PRC label. However, my interest was held from beginning to end. I cared enough about the characters to want to see how they came out of it all. The movie is in the category of a traditional mystery drama, but the son's obsession with destroying his mother's fiance gives the film an interesting suggestive undercurrent. Whether this was intentional or just viewing it from a modern perspective, I can't say. That's from Black Well Tunes, dated November 24th, 2003. And the title of the review is Traditional Old Mystery with Modern Undercurrents. So there's that. More like this, The Unknown, The House in Marsh Road, Cause for Alarm and Ruthless. I'll try to look those up. I'll make sure that I haven't seen any of those and I forgot about them before I add them to my movie list, which I have up and I'll get through shortly. Paul, a young man whose father was governor of California before his untimely death, has a strange recurring. This was before California was uh, exclusively run by Democrat politician. He has a Paul has a strange recurring dream in which his mother falls in love with the dangerous man Brett Curtis, a dream which also contains the image of his father's death in an automobile accident under mysterious circumstances. Through the help of his friend, a psychiatrist, Paul realizes that his dream is coming true, that his mother is falling under Curtis's influence. Curtis, in fact, is a homicidal maniac who lives as an outpatient at the sanitarium of the unscrupulous Dr. Molbach. When Curtis makes an attempt to marry Paul's mother, Paul intervenes, and after a series of events, Paul discovers the truth behind his dreams. Did Paul die at the end? I couldn't figure out the ending. Haunting mystery thriller. That's a print ad from Lubbock Morning A Salvage Palace Theater, Lubbock, Texas, May 25th, 1945 in all caps. Uh, this draws on the plot of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Hamlet's plot involves a Danish prince who tries to exact revenge against his uncle, who has murdered the prince's father in order to seize his throne and marry his mother. While Strange Illusion is by no means completely faithful to the original Shakespeare storyline, the character Ophelia doesn't exist here, and the tragic finale is replaced with a happy ending. In any case, Ulmer's film remains a fascinating attempt at reimagining Shakespeare's Hamlet. Here he is young Paul, who lives in bucolic Southern California next to exclusive private schools and Tony country clubs. To this, the plot adds a bit more. The protagonist admits himself into an insane asylum. This allows time for our scheming director, Edgar Ulmer, to amp up the cinematic tension with added touches and moody lighting effects. So, what intrigued me about this is that he's got a psychiatrist pal friend, i.e., the good psychiatrist, the Dr. Thomas Saz, as it were, and and then they've got the antagonist, evil psychiatrist, doctor, who runs a crazy sanitarium. But I think the people who are running the sanitarium, the blonde nurse and the evil doctor, are the ones who are crazy, not the patients or the so-called guests there. and at first, Paul is yelling at the guy, but then he starts scheming against him, and he comes up with a clever ruse to play along with his plan to kill Paul. And it's all very intriguing, all the different puzzle pieces. And again, it's amazing how Paul is able to point his binoculars and at the place where all the murder evidence is buried under a pile of hay. He just so happens to point it directly at the place where it is. And then when the evil doctor is about to push him over the rooftop, a car pulls up. So it's a series of coincidences mixed together with Paul's cleverness. It's really a great film. I can't say enough good things about it. When Brett is watching Lydia in the swimming pool, his body position changes in 3 successive shots from different angles. Paul Cartwright is quoted as saying, "I'm Paul Cartwright. My father was Judge Albert Cartwright, once lieutenant governor of the state. He was killed 2 years ago in a mysterious accident. We were not only father and son, but friends. The shock of his violent death still haunts my mind. My nights are troubled by strange dreams." This was featured in Edgar Ulmer, The Man Off Screen, 2004. A release date, March 31st, 1945 in the US, country of origin, United States. This is streaming on AP Tech 30 YouTube channel. It's also streaming on Broken Trout Movies YouTube channel. And then we've got Cult Cinema Classics YouTube channel. There's so many different versions of this on YouTube, but I think they're all the same length. They're probably all the same. Language is English, also known as First Illusion, production company Producers Releasing Corporation, PRC, The Great Poverty Row. Film production company, I should say, the top tier Poverty Row production company from the 1940s. Runtime 1 hour, 27 minutes, 87 minutes. Color black and white, and aspect ratio 1.37 to 1. Little side note, the end of the movie has a pitch for war bonds in 1945. So that was kind of out of place in a film noir, I guess. The producers are looking for ways to make money. so they're pitching war bonds as a way to make extra money. All right. Let's go down my list. First on the list is Barry Lyndon, 1975. Then we've got Saint Rita of Cassia, The True Story, 2012. That's number 2 on my list. And number 3 is Direct Hit, 1994. Those are the next 3 on my list. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'll post a link to the comely, chubby, blondie girl with the funny hairdo. She's my dream girl now. And you can check out her review as well. Compare and contrast the two. So I'll post. I've already got link up to the Cult Cinema Classics version, public domain link. I've got that in the description, and I'll add another link with the blondie in there later.